Hi there, this is Luise Heinzel. Thank you very much for joining me today. This is another episode of my little series about how to make a junk journal from scratch. And today I want to create some storage thingies like pockets, belly bands, tuck spots and so on to be able to store some ephemera in my journal later. If you have missed the other videos of this series, you can find a playlist link down below this video so that you can catch up what you perhaps have missed. But if you haven't seen the other videos and perhaps you don't have time or you don't want to watch the other videos, then you can craft along with me today as well. If you perhaps already have some loose pages on your desk for your journal, or perhaps you have an empty journal which is, already bound into a cover, then you can also, of course, craft along with me. I want to show you how I come into this process of making pockets and belly bands and that stuff to store my ephemera. So perhaps you can find some inspiration in this video. In case you are new here, I quickly want to say something how everything started if you haven't seen the other videos and perhaps you don't have time to watch them. So everything has started with this little basket of embroidery threads. This basket comes from my grandma, and the most of the embroidery threads also come from my grandma. I have bought some by myself. I got some in a Happy Mail, but this, the emotional context behind this is my grandma somehow, and this memory that I also crafted with her in my childhood. And I don't have embroidery skills, but I want to make an embroidery journal. And this is probably not what you think what an embroidery journal is, because, there is not real embroidery in the journal, and there will be no real embroidery in the journal later because I don't have the skills to do that. But I find embroidery really fascinating, so I thought about some alternatives, and I used this as a source of inspiration to find my own ideas and things that I can handle and that I can manage to create. Yeah, so that was the starting point. And you will see later, I have already picked some embroidery thread that I want to use, even if I won't embroider with these. So perhaps you can find some inspiration in that as well. If you have something like a wish, a theme for your journal, but you don't have the skills, then perhaps you can find some ideas that you can transfer to your own theme and your own, I think in English it's lack of skills. If you don't have the skills, it's a lack of skills, isn't it? So let's go into this. What do we have here? We have prepared some pages, and we have also found some colors and some mediums and all of that stuff to use on the pages with the help of my mood board method. So if you are interested in that, then it's, I think, worth it to watch the first video of this series, because with the mood board I found a ton of inspiration, even if I can't embroider, to make my embroidery journal. Yeah, so And what I also want to cover with this video is one of your questions. I get that question very often, and that is, what can I do if I have, for example, a digital printable paper or a paper pad which has like a full sheet with a nice pattern that I want to use? How can I use this to make something like pockets and tuck spots and that stuff? How can I cut this? How can I find things that I can use for making, for example, a belly band? That is a really, I would say a massive question, because some people say, okay, I have these background pages. Some of you have bought something from my shop, and then you sit there and you think, I can only use this as a background page in my journal for like writing or for having a page. But of course, this can also be used for several different things, and you can make your own, let's call that storage thingies, like pockets, belly bands and that stuff from such a page. And I want to cover a part of that in this video as well and show you some ideas on how to do that. You can see I have already something here. This, for example, is already a tuck spot where we could take something and put that in here. I have made this in my German video, so if you want to see that, you can watch the German video from today as well. I have already started with some things here, and made some belly bands and that stuff. Here you can already see a portion of my digital printable paper, which I've just shown you here. So this is just a portion of this printable. This is, by the way, called Embroidery Paper Volume 1. You can find that in my shop. The link is down below in the description box, and I've also planned to use some of these pages as like full pages in the journal. On the back I have printed my stitched printable. Both of these, the stitched and the embroidery paper, have 30 pages in total, so that you also can, you know, print them front and back, and you have the same amount of pages if you want that. Both of the links are down below in the description box. And now I want to take some more pages and some things. I'm really in love with how this turned out. This is also a little pocket I made. Holy cow, I can't bring my finger into here. I made in the German video. And now I want to go on here and make something. So let's perhaps start. So I will put these pages away because they have already something on them. Let's perhaps start with something that I really like to use to come into my process. Because you see, I mean, you know, I always make a German and an English video, meaning I have a lot of pages here, and these will probably go into 2 different journals, because this is, I can already feel that, a lot for only one journal. But no matter if you have this like problem that I have of making 2 different videos in 2 different languages, I mean, then I always have the double amount of material here, yeah, because I do everything twice. But even if you don't have this problem, it can happen that you have too many pages. But don't worry about that. I think it's better to have too much than not enough, because everything that is going to be left over here you can put into your stash and use for a future journal, or you can do what I like to do. Take something from here where you think, oh, I have too much, and use that as a base for example, a belly band, a pocket, a tuck spot, or something like that. This page here, for example, I don't really like this page as a page, to be honest. I don't like how this came out, and this, it looks really weird as a page in my eyes. But if I use this here as a base for like such a storage thingy, I already have something that matches the colors, the theme, and everything that I have here and want to use as the pages for my journal. Yeah, so what I'm trying to say is, if you have something that you don't like so much, just take it, tear it apart, use it as collage fodder, use it as a base for something new. And that is also the reason why I just said it's good to have too much instead of having not enough. Yeah, so let's take this, and this, I mean, this looks like a tag because I have sprayed here through a stencil, and you know, this is the shape of the stencil. So let's perhaps start with a page from the embroidery paper, from this printable. I think this is already really nice, and let's make a belly band from this full page. So I think it could be a good idea to first choose the page where we want to place the belly band, so that we can see the size better. Shall we perhaps take this neutral page here? I think it could look great if we have 2 elements that come from the same printable. So both of these are from the embroidery paper printable. So let's take this page. This is, as you can see, it's just folded. So this is printed, and then I folded it in half. And let's perhaps first determine the width of the belly band. And I do that in the most simplest way you can imagine. I just take this, fold that, just where I think that it looks good. And I fold it because then I also get a stronger paper and a really nice edge here. If you would cut this, then, you know, you would have the cut edge, and that is not so sturdy like if it's folded, and I think it also looks nicer when it's folded. So this is a good width, I think, and I want to use this to back this, or to put that on top. We could make a really slim strip with this flower here. Yeah, why not? Let's take a ruler. And as you can see, I do this really intuitively. To be honest, I don't think much about this to not overthink it. But I want this straight, so I use the grid here on my mat to tear this off. Ooh. So that I have this flower here, so like, you know, that I can make a little strip here. And then I can put this on here, decide about the width here. And what we will see from this paper below. And then let's tear this here. Ooh. Holy cow. Like this. I think that looks really nice. And since here is this little thingy, we can use this as an inspiration perhaps as well to make something there. So why don't we, I want to see a little bit of this. Why don't we tear this here a little shorter so that we can see this black pattern there. Yeah, and then I want to sew this on here, and I think I will also sew around the whole thing. I will quickly do that with my sewing machine. And of course, if you don't have a sewing machine, you could do this with a black pen, or perhaps you have a stamp which can imitate the zigzag or running stitch. If you are new to junk journaling and if you think, what shall I buy and what tools do I need? In my eyes, sewing with the sewing machine makes a junk journal really, really, really interesting. But of course, I know that not everyone can afford that. You could always take a black pen and imitate that, but a lot of people ask me, Louise, what shall I buy? I want to start junk journaling. And I would say a sewing machine and this little guy called Crocodile is really helpful, because look, within seconds you have something really, really nice and a cool effect, especially with this embroidery theme. If I can't embroider, then it's helpful that I have the stitching here from my sewing machine, because that is like close to embroidery, because it's also thread. Yeah, but perhaps that's only how my brain works. I have set an eyelet here now next to this little round thingy here from the stencil. I think that looks really nice, and that gives this thing a nice addition. I'm just thinking you could also use this as a bookmark, would also be nice, but I want to, where's my page now? I want to put that here to my page. I'm just thinking if we shall add something else. I mean, I really like that. This looks nearly like a window, doesn't it? Shall we just, no, I want to stamp here. I want to stamp or stencil here or something. Let me think. Oh, I know what we are going to do. We have chosen some stamps when we made the mood board, and one of those stamps was this one here. So my mood board is laying here on the left on my table, so that I can just grab my things and that I can also look to the mood board what I have chosen, so that I now have some inspiration and some ideas what I want to use. And I just thought, this stamp here, what if we, and I struggled with that in the German video when I recorded that yesterday, so let's see if I can manage what I want to do here now. This stamp has like a relatively straight edge here, and yesterday when I tried to do something, it happened that this edge was not clean, and that I got the edge on my stamping, and I don't want that. I want to try to put my ink only to the middle here, so that I can get like a portion of this to my page here, but without having this straight thing. Let's see. I want to have that abstract That's why I don't use a stamping platform and just tap to the stamp. I hold it here, lift it up here to see that this is enough, and yay, I don't have this edge. Oh, I'm happy. So that we get a little bit of interest. Oh my goodness, that looks great. To this background. And that is, of course, also a way, I think the easiest way, to customize your printables. And if you have a digital printable, which you want to use in several different journals, of course, you can print that out several times and then use it in different journals. And this way, you have a page that is very unique. And when you make another journal and use the same printable, just use another stamp or emboss the paper or scribble over it or make like crazy sewing on it, and that way you have so many different looks of the paper in the end that you can do several different things with one and the same printable. Oh my goodness, Louise, what's happening in your brain? Why is this eyelet here, you might ask? Yes, I asked that as well. I'm so stupid. Oh my goodness, now it's here. This I have glued that with bookbinder's glue, so I can't lift it off without destroying it because the glue grabs really fast. But what I wanted to do is I wanted to include some embroidery thread here, because for what is this eyelet? Oh my goodness, can I still do that? First I thought I wanted to have it like, you know, on the top there, but let's see if we can make something here, even if it's already glued down. Yes, and we can do so. Oh my goodness, this is one of these coincidences. Of course we can. Look, I mean, this is now a little weird, because originally I wanted to fiddle the thread through the eyelet so that it comes out here on the top. That is not possible anymore because I have accidentally already glued it here. But this gives me a really, really nice idea now. Haha, look, we can... Do you remember we had these little guys here? We have chosen one of those for the mood board so that we can remember that we want to include these into the journal as well. And in the meantime, I have realized that when I made the mood board, I've chosen a neutral of these little ephemera pieces. And then I realized that I've decided to use red and blue in my journal. That came, if you have seen the video, you know why that happened, but I just wanted to explain that for those who are new here. That happened because I found these little templates here, which I guess are made for embroidery, and they have blue. And there was something that happened even before this thing happened, and that was that I found a paper bag which I got in a Happy Mail. That is this one here, and I wanted to use this paper bag in my journal, but then I realized that here's a lot of red, and I decided beforehand that I want to stay in a neutral color palette, and this red gave me struggles. And with this red and the blue I've just shown you, I thought, why can't I include red and blue? That is not something that I would usually do, so I thought, challenge yourself and try that. And with that, this red and blue in mind, I thought, okay, we had made some red and blue thingies like this here as well, so I thought I can exchange the neutral one with one of these, which is red, or the blue one. Do you know what I mean? Look, blue. And this way I could use this from my mood board as an inspiration, but in the end I have this, and you know, with the other thing in the mood board I could remember that I had these in red and blue as well. Hopefully that makes sense. And with having this here, I thought, why don't we, but how? Why don't we just make a knot here? Is that nice? So that this can hang here. Oh my goodness. I think that will bother me somehow. How could we attach that there? I don't want to make a knot into this thread. That looks absolutely weird, but I just thought, let's try something. Let's take a brad and a bulb pin, because then we can put this through here. And the problem, do you have a solution for this? The problem with bulb pins is always, when I fiddle that through this hole, then of course this really thick part wants to stay like this. Yeah, if I hang this somewhere, then it's like so, and this is really bulky. Do you have a solution for making this flat? Is there a trick, like with, how is this tool called? Pliers or something? Do you know what I mean? It's like, oh, come out. I'm so sorry. Is there a trick with a tool like this to make these flat? If yes, please explain that to me in the comments, or send me a link or something, because I'm always searching for, or I have searched for a very long time for a solution, but the only solution I could find is the following. Let me see. I want to have this thread around the brad. So let me first try to make a knot here, so that then the thread can hang there, but it's just, you know, for decoration. I just make the knot here really close to the head of the brad, and then I show you my solution of making the bulb pin flat, but perhaps there's an even better solution, because now that works without the thread as well. Of course, the thread is now only decoration. Then I take this, I go with the legs of the brad through the head of the, or this top part of the bulb pin, like this. Then I fiddle that through this hole, and I spread the legs here. Would be easier if this wasn't attached, but I think I can manage that somehow. Oi, oi, oi. Why is this so high now? I need a hammer. This is only because I couldn't manage to open the brad so well, because it's already attached here. I will quickly do that off camera, because I'm a little afraid to hammer to my glass mat, even if Tim is says that it is possible, but I am a little afraid. Okay, so here we go. The hammering I did only to make this a brad, to bring it into the right position. Yeah, it was very high, but it's there's no impact to the bulb pin, but this, I mean, the hammering has no impact to the bulb pin. It was just because my fingers were not able to spread the legs of the brad. But this way, the bulb pin is pretty flat, as you can see, because the brad holds it down somehow. But if someone has another and better solution for this problem, then please let me know. But this is, you know, it's a little bulky, but not that bulky that it would be if this was like so, yeah. So this is, I think this is a better solution. We can perhaps later on hang some brads here, but I like this better than, you know, what I had before. And now we have a little belly band, and we can put something behind here, like for example a card or something, which could then live here. This looks a little naked, I know that. In this moment I don't have an idea what I could do additionally here to make this more interesting. That means I take this page and I put that there for later, and look to it later, and I go on with the next page. Sounds a little weird perhaps, but that's my way how to do it, how I do it. And that can also give, I think, some more ideas for the future, because when you look to your own creation with a little distance, meaning after a few days or so, then you can find new ideas from your own idea. And that is really cool, I think. So I think I want to take this page. Yeah, because I also want to show you what you can do with things like this. I mean, this is a card, and this is meant as a journaling card. I made this in a video, and I have shown you how I used some texture paste instead of foam tape to make this a little dimensional. And with that, the card got dimensional, of course, because that was the plan. And that is, for me, a difference when I have something like this thick, instead of having like a journaling paper, for example, which is really thin. And I like to find another solution for having this in my journal than having a pocket where I can put this in. And that is, on the one hand, because of the thickness of this, but on the other hand, I don't want to hide this beautiful card. If I would make a pocket, for example, and I would put this in here, let's say we take this and make a pocket, like so, we could do that, of course, but then the card would disappear in the pocket. And I don't like that so much when I have such a beautiful card where I'm proud that I made the card and I like the card, yeah? So I like to have something where the card is still shown, and the easiest way is to turn the card into a pocket or to turn the card into a belly band or a tuck spot or something like that. And that is what I want to try now. I have this page here. You have seen that in the last video. We have made something... Let's not talk about that. So, meaning this will become something else, and I can use this material to make something cool here. And let me just see. Let's take this part. Let's think if we can give the card perhaps another backing so that it looks nice. I really like this little red here around the card, so we could just make a rectangle and then glue that on as a tuck spot, but that is also a little bit boring, I think. Let's see. We could even take this whole thing and put the card to the middle here to have a really giant pocket or belly band. Why don't we just do that? I think I really like that. And we could perhaps even, I have taken out these little guys from my mood board. I have chosen this for including that into the journal as well. And I thought, can we perhaps, yes, we can. I think that could look really, really great. Okay, let's see. I want to take this for something else, this little accident with the birds. So I take this, but we have to strengthen this a little bit so that this is not too heavy for this. So let's perhaps take what we have left over from just a second ago. And let's perhaps just tear a little bit off here randomly so that we can see a little bit of the other paper. These little scraps I will not throw away, but I will use those for making some collages later. So that is great collage photo, of course. And I want to just glue this on first so that it stays in place. And this paper now just makes this whole thing a little sturdier, and at the same time we get a frame around this piece here which has the matching colors and so on. Why is my glue clogged now? Because what I also really like, and this is probably not the best example for that, I really like to... Oh, what is this? Holy cow, my nerves are wrecked. Holy moly. I'm so sorry. Sometimes I have to. Sometimes I have to say all the bad words that I know in English in one sentence. I'm really sorry. So hard, you just want to put on the glue here and say something intelligent, and then the glue won't come out. This is probably not the best example for what I'm trying to say here, because I'm covering up a lot of the digital paper now. And I know ink is expensive, I know. But on the other hand, with this here, I have the perfect background for this whole thing, and it matches perfectly. And what let's fold this. What I originally wanted to say is I like to take what I have on my desk here, and when I had a full sheet and we just made the other belly band, where are my scissors now? Oh, we just made the other belly band, and I have this laying on my table, and to not destroy my own flow, I like to take these things, even if I have ink on here, and even if this has cost me money, I like to take this to not disturb my own flow. And that is something that might look a little weird, but that is my way of doing it. And I also want to show you in this series how I keep my flow flowing. Do you know? Why is this so wide now? Because this is so wide. Oh no. Is this weird now? No, it's not so weird, but it covers a lot of this thing. But that is not so bad. It's not so bad. Let's just make a little notch here so that we can see that it is a pocket. And what I'm trying to show you with this series is also how I, go on, because that is, I think, one of the most difficult things. I hear that so often. Louise, I've started a junk journal and I've followed some of your videos, or I've watched videos, and then, or also not only my videos, but you can, I read that with, other videos as well. You say you have watched the videos, you have collected materials, and then you don't know how to start, or you have started and then you get stuck and you don't know how to continue. And that is what I'm trying to show with this series as well, how I do that. Because when I have materials laying here, I like to use them, and I like to try to use what I have on my desk, because of a very simple reason. If I would have to stand up now to search for other materials and other things to use, I would destroy my own flow and my own concentration and that stuff. And I want to avoid that. And because of that, I like to have things laying around here that I can use. And I try to use those materials that are laying around here first before I stand up and think I want to use something additionally. And with that, sometimes I get the most amazing ideas, or actually I think my ideas are then amazing or better than if I would stand up every 5 minutes. And that is the most important thing, that you like your ideas. No one else has to like what you are doing there. But with standing up and searching for things, I think you can easily destroy your flow. And that's why I accept that, for example, this paper here is printed and has cost me money, even if I don't see so much of it now anymore. But that makes that I can go on. I mean, that I use this instead of searching for something else, makes that I can go on, and that I don't have to stand up and disturb my own flow. Hopefully that makes sense somehow. So I want to cut this off here so that I am able to sew this on here, and I want to just sew around the card here again, so that everything is attached with each other, attached to each other, I guess, in one step. So let's see, is this good? I want to have this hanging out a little bit. It moves here. Perhaps I have to sew along here as well. I will quickly try to figure that out, and then I will be back. I think this worked really well. I've just sewn around here where already the stitching of the card was, and this is okay for me. It's just, if this bothers me later that it is like loose, I can always put a tiny bit of glue there. But I think it's nice to have something that is a little flexible. Oh no, this is not so good. The page later on flips like this. It's not so good to have this here so close to the fold here. We could either cut this off, or I'm also thinking if this is too dark. Let's see how this looks on a lighter page. Is this better? Ugh. No. We need this dark contrast because the lace is so light here. Okay, so let's quickly cut these off so that they are not in the way, because it's not such a good idea to have the things going to the very edge here where the fold is. I don't like that, because then later on you could get some problems with flipping the page. We will just attach this with some double-sided tape. That is easier, so that we then have this giant pocket there. So let's put this here. No. Ah, yes, here's the notch. Holy cow. That happens all the time, that I put my glue or double-sided tape to the wrong side of the pocket. I'm a little panicking because, especially when I make a video, that is probably not so good. So let's do this. And then I like to leave a little space here so that this material here is not touching the edge of the page, so that I don't get problems later with flipping the page. Okay, so then we have this, and this is now, of course, a pocket. We have included this thing, but without hiding this card, and we can use this giant pocket here to put, for example, some journaling papers in there, or some cards that we don't want to showcase like this. I really like this. Okay, but then I also want to figure out what to do with this. Perhaps you have seen this little accident from the last video. I hope that I will not turn this into another accident now. I don't know what's going to happen here now, but we will make something out of this. I really like how the head of the bird turned out here by accident. I really like that this eye got so dimensional, and you can clearly see the head of the bird, and also here this. That is a fail, a complete fail. So let's try to do it like this. And I just remember we had these tinier things from the mood board, which already nearly looked like pockets. This CD sleeve, for example, I've stamped to this in the German video, but this is basically a coffee-dyed CD sleeve. Nothing has changed since the last time you've seen it. Hallelujah! That is great. He is by coincidence in the right spot. Yep, thank you very much. I don't have to go through these because this is great. That is also a thing I had to learn. If you found something that you like this here, for example, take it and use it and go from here. Because if you take this out and search for other things, other alternatives, you will go crazy. If you are like me and if your brain works only a little bit like my brain, then it could happen that you have too many choices, and that makes your life harder. Yeah, your junk journaling life, I mean. So let's think from here what we could do next, because I thought, where are my stamps? I've stamped that, I guess, yes, with this stamp. I made these during 1 year of Ephemeramber, which is a December daily series with my dear friend Barbara at 49 Dragonflies. If you don't know Ephemeramber, please check out my playlists, or just search for Ephemeramber. You will find thousands of videos. And I made these with the help of some die cuts. And these stamps have been my first stamps I made, like, you know, with die cuts. And the problem was that I had no knowledge how to make stamps with die cuts. I did some things obviously wrong, because you can see they are falling apart, and this white stuff here is from the texture paste here. So I thought, can I perhaps take the stamp apart, because I can't stamp with it anymore. This one is not so bad, but I can see that some of the layers are coming off here. That is not so good. So I thought, if I can't use it for stamping anymore, can I then perhaps take this off and make something nice? Because these layers, the layers themselves, are sturdy and they are well attached to each other, but it's coming off from the wood here really easily, as you can see. And the next problem is that both of these birds are looking into not the same direction. That is normal, Louisa. Because, you know, one is stamped and this one is now the other direction. Do we need those feet? Because I thought, can I perhaps puzzle this bird on here so that it looks like the other one is sitting behind him? Is that good? But this acetate of the CD sleeve makes it really hard to see the other bird. Even if I really like this idea. This looks not so bad. I think that the CD sleeve, no, sorry, the paper in there is still a little, I have an idea, it's a little too big. Let's see. Let's cut a piece off, put this back in here. It's the same problem. And what really bothers me is that we can't touch the texture of the texture paste anymore. So we will do something. Barbara, please be very strong now. Take your heat tool. I mean, Barbara is the queen of melting envelope windows by accident, I would say. And you can, of course, melt this stuff on purpose to be able to easily remove this window here without tearing the sleeve itself. Just melt it and then take something that can handle heat, tweezers or something like that, and then you can easily remove this. Please make sure that you don't burn your fingers, but after a really short time this is already cool. And with melting it, somehow the glue which was used to attach this plastic to this sleeve you can remove this really easily. If you won't melt it, you would have a hard job to get this out without tearing into this thing. And now it's... What is this? Holy moly. This also, this has never happened to me. I mean, without the camera. Those things only happen... What is this now? Can I... Do I really have to take out my iron now? I'm not willing to iron this. No, it's not happening. Let me see. Perhaps we can manage. We can manage this. This thing is not a diva anymore. It's already the other thing. You know what I mean. But now, look. If I take this now and sew over this, we still have this CD sleeve look, but a better surface to glue this bird, and we can feel the texture. But I'm thinking if I should do something. Barbara has a video that is, for me it's not so long ago because I filmed this in advance, but for you it's already then, when you see this video, the video I mean is already a longer time ago. She made something with a circle and then a circle which was, you know, it was like here, and there was a bird as well. So that brought me now to the idea to sew here instead of around the whole thing. But we can do both things, I think, because I need to attach this as well. Let me first sew around this bigger circle and then we see what we want to do. Okay, so this is now flat again. I haven't ironed it. I've just sewn over it and then this got flat again. So let's see. Shall we just glue him here and then decide if we want to sew around him or not? Or what shall we do? I'm also thinking, how can I include something here that is like a little branch or something, because he has no feet anymore, because these are here and they are so delicate that I don't want to use them, because, you know, then it's not sturdy. I have these little page tabs. I made these, you know, for attaching them to a page. And by the way, I have also exchanged the ones I've chosen for the mood board with some others, because in the mood board there have been some neutral ones, and then we came to this blue and red color thing, and with that I have exchanged my page tabs because I could find some with red and blue. So I have now not the neutral ones in my mood board anymore, or here on my desk, but those which have blue and red instead of the neutral ones, so that these fit better to the color palette later. I'm just thinking, shall I... Who says that we can't put one of these here so that it looks like this little bird is sitting on this thing? Perhaps we should just sew that on here. What do you think about that? Even if I liked the idea, when I just had this here, I was thinking, oh, this is also nice to have a page tab here like so. Or, let's see. Can we include the birch into the design of the page tab? Oh, it's so hard when it's not glued. Oh. No, that is... No. That is not so nice. Yeah, this looks really cool together, but not in the not in combination with the bird. No, I don't like that. Shall we take this one, or better the one that has the red on here to get a connection to the background? What do you think? Oh, both would work. Oh, what we also could try is what if the bird was behind this little thing? Would make it easier to find the position, I think. But then he still has no legs, but I really, really like this somehow. I like that better than the other thing. This is something not so normal, I would say. Dun, 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 dun. Please wait. Louise is searching for an idea. Please wait. Sometimes I'm really asking myself, what am I doing here? But surprisingly, these feet came off really easily. Huh? And where do they have to go now? Can someone please show me the original die cut of this bird? Where's my die cut set? Where do these have to go? It was this bird, I guess. And I have cut him so that they would have to go here somehow like this. That can't be. Why is it this bird? I have absolutely no idea, and I really hate this with the legs there. It looks weird. I also want to have these slots that I had on the stamp. I need something here, but what? Either like this, or no. Okay, this is the moment where I'm really close to freaking out, because I can't glue this here, because if I glue it, then I don't have a chance to layer this or something like that. But I'm really close to freaking out because I don't know how I want to do this, and it moves so much. So that means that I will drink a coffee now. Or is this the solution? What do you think about this? Okay. No coffee. No coffee now. I'm going to do it exactly like that. But I have to remove this so that I can glue these, or we could even, no, I will glue that together so that I have this nice edge there on the top. I just thought I could also cut it off, but that's not so good then. I don't have this nice edge here. Let's put this little paper clip back here, like this. Let's then glue this here. And this is, I mean, if you are new to my channel and you think, what the heck is she doing there? It looks absolutely not planned and unorganized, and perhaps you also see it like unprofessional, because it looks like I don't know what I'm doing here. And if you think she doesn't know what she's doing, yeah, you are totally right, because I can't plan things like this, because I have no idea what's going to happen here, because this is my original process. I wanted to have a series on my channel. I mean, that is not the first series where I try to show you my original process, but I wanted to have another thing where you can see how my brain works and where I can explain in detail what I think while I'm doing something like this. Because you have asked me how my brain works, and of course I'm trying to answer your questions, no matter what kind of questions that are. And this is a try to explain what's in my head while making this. And I can only do something like this when I not plan the things, because I mean, I have said that in one of the other videos of this series as well. This can never be a tutorial, because then I would have to somehow do this exactly like it is here now beforehand. I would have to do everything before I can start recording the video, and then I could give you a tutorial, but that also means that I would have to yeah, I mean, this is a unique piece. This fail with the bird, I have it only one time, and I probably can't reproduce it in exactly the same way. This is a unique piece, yeah, it's only existing one time, and that's why this can't be a tutorial, and that's why this looks like chaotic and probably a little unprofessional as well. I know that, but if you want to see my real process, here you have it. And that is, yeah, my process is chaotic also without the camera, and I also think that that is normal. Where is my white Posca pen? I think that is normal, because junk journaling is not a straight way, and I also know that what I have here now I would not have without you being here with me and your questions and my goal to explain what I'm doing here and what I'm thinking. So when I make videos like this, what is going on here? You are always a very big part of my result, because if I would do this alone, I would think totally different things. I would never think the same things like with the camera. I mean, that sounds like my reality is different to what I do here. It's the same reality, but with different results. And this special piece I wouldn't have without you. Yeah, so I mean, this background came because of this fail from the last video, and the last video I only did because I wanted to have a video for you. So that means without you, this wouldn't exist. Does that make sense? But this is really cool. Holy moly. I have never thought that I would like red and these like neutral colors so much together. That is really cool. So let's see how we can attach that to a page. I want to make a pocket from this as well, or we could even turn this into a flip out where you can then later on journal on the back. I'm not such a big friend of flip outs, but let's see. Or we could, do you know what we also could do? We could take one of our smaller let's do that. Then it's not a flip out, but let's see if we have something smaller so that we can turn this into a smaller page instead of a flip out. I will show you in a second what I mean. I'm searching for something that I can use to attach it to the other thing. And I think this is not so bad. When you have something that has like a flap, like this envelope, that is not so bad to do something like this, because now, look, we can use this as the fold for this thing. So that we can, where's my double-sided tape now? Here. This is vellum, or is that the right word? Hopefully. So I use double-sided tape instead of glue, because if I would use liquid glue on here, this would get totally weird. And with the tape it stays better in place and flat. Not in place, but it stays flat. So let's take this off. And because at the moment I mainly have those bigger pages on my table here, and I also want to have some smaller pages. So let's take this. Let's take these threads out of the way so that we don't get more bulk there. And then we can just take this, stick this down here, and this way, I mean, this is not a pocket now, I know, but that can also happen during your process. You can sit down and think, I want to make pockets, and you end up with something like this, where then this piece is not a pocket anymore because you've just closed it by sewing over it, but you have something like a smaller page now for your journal, because this, of course, you can take now and you can put it into your signature later like this, so that you then have this little page here. You can use this for journaling, and on the other side you have this, and the opening of this envelope is here, meaning that is not so easy to put something in. So we can just cut this open to have a nice little pocket here. Does this want to come off? If yes, then just say goodbye. If not, leave it there. If it only wants to come off like this, leave the rest there. Shall we punch a notch here as well? Makes sense, I think, so that we can see that this is a pocket, and then this can go into the signature like this. This is too long. Oh no. This is DNA 5. That is the half of DNA 4. Oh, I haven't checked the length of this envelope beforehand, but that's not the problem. Let's just cut this off because I don't want to have this fragile material peeking out later. That would bother me. problem solved. If I don't have an idea for this now, what I want to do with this, I do it later. Ooh. But this is, I mean, it looks nice when you can see this through here, but it's hidden too much somehow. So let's leave this like it is. Let's leave this little page here like it is. I will open it so that the glue can dry really well, and I will place it there for drying, but you know, we will leave that and we will do something different with this. And we also still have these. So I didn't have a coffee because someone has called me. Say hello to my viewers.
Hello, my friends.
I've just picked this page here because I thought that this tag would be a really nice addition to this page, because look, the colors fit really well. Was du jetzt dazu sagst, das weiß ich zwar nicht, aber das macht ja nichts.
So was.
Ja, ob das hier wirklich passt. Look, I take this stamp here now. This is good.
Okay.
Say that this is good.
It's stamped for cleaning.
Was?
Ist das zum Saubermachen?
Nee, das ist ein Stempel. Der macht so mini-pupsi kleine Blümchen.
Jetzt habe ich das gesehen. Okay, das sah gerade so auf die Schnelle bei mir auf dem kleinen Bildschirm aus wie so ein Spezialschleifschwamm oder so.
Spezialschleifschwamm. Yeah, if you don't know what this is, it could look like a really crazy tool for doing something different, but it isn't. It's just a stamp. And this, even if you can't see that, it's really nice. Du kannst das zwar jetzt hier nicht sehen, aber das ist voll schicki.
I have a question. Maybe your fans have Auto-Food-Treter.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness, how shall I explain what you are talking about? Oh, okay. I try it. What is it? I try to explain what an auto food traitor is. What does traitor mean? Traitor. Yesterday we
Wie heißt denn das auf Englisch?
Yeah, I'm trying to find the words. Yesterday Sasha and I have talked about the problem that sometimes you have some weird noises in your apartment and then you can't work anymore. For me, it's a problem when I want to make videos, and for him it's a problem. It's a problem when he wants to make a TikTok live stream, for example. And he talked about how to solve the problem in his apartment. And he tries to find a solution to make the ceiling of his apartment not so... he tries to make it thicker somehow so that the noise can't come through. And he wanted to test that. And then he said perhaps there's a machine which can imitate someone who is running over the floor. And he found a really funny German word for that. So like an automatic machine that can imitate the footsteps. So he said, automatischer Fußtreter. That means something like an automatic footstep imitator. But that is such a funny German word because it's basically, it's not existing in German, and the machine itself isn't existing as well. Aber du musst das natürlich dann gleich googeln, ist klar. So he said, oh, I look I looked that up in Google if something like that is existing, and I had to laugh so hard I thought I would pee myself. Boah, jetzt muss ich mich anstrengen, dass ich das hier gerade aufgeklebt kriege. Is this straight? Yes, I guess so. Holy moly. Is the ink isn't dry.
I have not all understand what you say, but the sentence a little I understand.
Ja, that was a really hard job. Ich hatte hier einen harten Job, das zu übersetzen. Keine Ahnung, ob das irgendeinen Sinn ergibt.
Do you need a fuck machine?
A what?
Also, not fuck, fog.
Perhaps.
I need a cigarette for fog.
Sascha. Perhaps some children are watching this video. You mean fog machine? I can't upload this. I need another page. Fog is always good because when I make some mistakes here, then fog is good. Mistakes. Wenn ich hier ein paar Fehler mache, dann ist das gut. Wenn ich hier so Nebel habe, weil dann sieht man die Mistakes nicht so. Fog is good to hide mistakes.
Yeah.
What about
And
this?
for oh Gott. Wie nennt sich denn das noch mehr? I have forgot the German word.
Oh, that happens to me all the time.
Nicht Kulisse, sondern for auch nicht Special Effects, sondern Atmosphäre.
Atmosphere.
Mhm.
You mean fog is good for atmosphere?
Yes. Auf der Bühne auf jeden Fall.
Yes, of course. If you are on a stage for making music, then fog is good for the atmosphere.
Yes, really. But sometimes I cannot read the text.
Ja, practice. Musst du auswendig alles lernen.
Das meiste kann ich ja. The new songs sometimes make a problem.
Ja, I understand. But I also think you know a lot of lyrics and you have like a storage in your brain to remember the lyrics. That is fascinating. Du hast einen sehr großen Speicher für Texte, wie ich finde.
Echt?
Ja, volle.
Eigentlich komme ich mir manchmal so ein bisschen unwissend mit Texten vor, weil manche Zuschauer die Texte besser können als ich selber.
Yeah, and you always tell me that I am too slow. When you forget a text and I am like, oh my goodness, I have to jump out of my bed during the live stream and go to my laptop to Google the text, then I can write it there, but then it's often too slow and you tell me that I'm too slow. Du sagst immer, ich bin zu langsam.
Yes. Yes.
Ja, da will man nett sein und dann ist man zu langsam. I want to be kind.
Aber ich finde es immer voll nett.
Ja, das ist auch nett. Ich bin ja meistens auch nett.
Ja.
Now he tells me that I'm kind when I try to find the lyrics for him during the live stream, but during the live stream he's really mean and he says I'm too slow. Ja.
Sometimes.
Don't watch his channel. I'm just realizing this goes faster when I'm talking to you than if I won't talk to you, because I can't think what I'm doing here. Das geht hier wesentlich schneller, wenn wir hier so sprechen, als wenn wir nicht sprechen. Weil jetzt kann ich nicht nachdenken, was ich hier machen muss, weil ich muss ja jetzt mit dir reden und das übersetzen und das machen gleichzeitig. Das hindert mich,
Ja, das stimmt.
zu überlegen, ob das wirklich gut ist, was ich hier mache. Schnurzpieps egal. Schaut gar nicht so scheiße aus.
Das sehe ich schon.
Jetzt kleben wir das hier noch drauf. Ja, ich weiß gar nicht, wann dieses Video kommt. Wann ist denn dein nächstes YouTube Live? Immer am ersten Sonntag im Monat.
Genau. Das ist schon kommenden Sonntag.
Naja, in dem Fall nicht, weil dieses Video ist für später.
Ach so.
I'm just trying to figure out when the next YouTube live stream on Sascha's channel is. But I have no idea when I will publish this video. So it's always on the first Sunday of each month. But I will link his channel down below in the description box so that you can check that out. Warum ist das jetzt hier so schief, ey? This is wonky. Oh no.
You need a water bottle.
You mean a scale? Yeah, that would be good. A scale, I think, is the word.
Scale.
I think. Scale. Hier. Sowas.
Ah, yes, yes.
Is this a scale? I think this is a scale. But now it's too late. Mein Glue ist schon gedried. Verstehst du?
So ein bisschen.
Ja, und was machst du jetzt da Schönes? What are you doing there, and why the heck are you calling me today? Why are you not at work? You have a life, you have a really relaxed life. I mean, it's lunchtime now. Why are you not at work?
Was Lunchtime?
Es ist jetzt Mittagsessenszeit. Warum bist du nicht auf der Arbeit? Warum rufst du mich an?
Ach so, I have free today, and I work in the Keller.
In the was? In the Keller?
In the Keller.
In the Keller. Holy cow. Was heißt denn jetzt nochmal gleich Keller auf Englisch? The room below the house. So that means you make music in the Keller today?
The living Tom?
I have no idea. Perhaps he's...
Tom heißt der Grab, aber wo man noch nicht tot ist.
Ach so. Oh my goodness. Yeah, I understand. He tried to say the... Was heißt denn jetzt nochmal Friedhof? Weil das Wort, was du meinst, das heißt eigentlich Grab, oder? Ja, ja.
Genau.
Was heißt denn jetzt nochmal?
Deswegen sage ich das lebende Grab.
Ja.
The deepest room in the house.
Ja. Oh no. Ah, nein. My page has died. The deepest room in the house. So you are cleaning there, or what are you doing there?
The Putzwegkehren.
Yeah, okay, so that is basically cleaning. So that means somehow it's already Halloween at your house because of the dirt.
Not really Halloween. It's more Baustelle.
Yeah, I know that it is a construction site, but the last time you have been cleaning, you said it feels like it's already Halloween. Das letzte Mal, als du im Keller warst, hast du gesagt, es ist schon hier so halb wie Halloween.
Ja, es war wie Halloween. Also mehr Spinnen und Spinnenweben wie Bewohner.
More spiders and other living creatures than people in the house. Uiuiui. Yeah, that is, but it's important that you do that. Das ist very wichtig, dass du das machst.
Ja.
But you also have to practice new songs.
Maybe in the summer.
In the summer.
Summertime.
And then we will get a living room concert outside.
Maybe. In the rose garden.
In the rose garden, oh.
Or Freebies home.
Do you know this song, I Never Promised You a Rose Garden?
No.
What? Kennst du nicht?
No. I cannot.
Ist ja krass. I will send you a link later. No, I will not sing now. But I need my inkpad. I Never Promised You a Rose Garden. Das musst du doch kennen. Bitte. Sascha.
Mhm. Ja, vielleicht kenne ich es von Hören.
Krass. Normalerweise kennst du alles.
Ja. Warte mal.
So, perhaps I should finish this here without you. Perhaps my viewers also want to know something about what I'm doing here. Jetzt mache ich das nämlich hier gerade irgendwie, ohne irgendwas zu erklären. Kann ich dich vielleicht gleich nochmal anrufen, wenn ich das hier fertig habe?
Ich glaube, da bin ich im Keller. Wir haben jetzt Einzel, das heißt, ich kann jetzt da unten mal viel Krach machen.
Okay. Then I will call you perhaps in the evening.
Yes.
Okay. I wish you good luck with your cleaning stuff.
Thank you.
And I'm happy that I don't have to do that.
Wird schon werden.
Ja, ja. Kennst du die zwei? Schauen wir mal, was wird. Was wird?
Mhm.
Oh my goodness. I think I sent you another link.
Another link?
Ja.
Okay.
So then I will say goodbye now and I will call you in the evening.
Yes.
Tschüssikowski.
Tschüssikowski. Bye bye.
See you later.
See you later, alligator.
Yes. Ciao.
Ciao.
Yeah, so now we are alone again. I thought I just take my phone here to my table because, you know, when I wanted to drink my coffee, he called me, so there was no chance to drink a coffee. This is now totally weird, but what do you know what? I mean, this was like my life here at the moment, and I wanted to give you a little bit of that as well, but at the same time I think that it can be, and that is something that I realize in this moment, I haven't even thought about that before. It can be obviously really helpful if you, for example, are on a phone call while you're making something like this, because I had to concentrate to talk to him and to, you know, you've just heard it, obviously I had to concentrate to translate the things because he can understand a little bit of English and he can talk a little bit of English, but it's hard for him and for me as well. But I think you have seen that I did things here just automatically. I would never have come to this idea without this phone call. Perhaps you want to try that out. Look, I mean, this is a page tab, or meant to be as a page tab, and now I have this here just by having this little thing here, which was here before, from tearing the paper back, as an inspiration to tear this piece of the printable, like so. And now I think I need something like a focal point here. So why don't I just take this and glue this down here? I love this. Oh my goodness. And we could even leave this open. Yeah, let's do that. So that we also have a possibility to store something here. I mean, it would be on the outside of the page, and probably you would need something like a paper clip or so to attach that. Imagine this was a little ephemera piece that you want to store in this little pocket here, then you would probably need a paper clip or something to attach this here, but that is no problem. I really like that. So let's glue this down as well. So if you want to join the next living room concert on Sascha's channel, then check out the link down below in the description box. I have every information about his social media and so on down below there for you. And if you think, what the heck, who the heck is that? Perhaps you are new to my channel and you don't know Sascha yet. I met him on TikTok in the last year, at the end of the year, and I have told you in my February series about my relatively massive problems with finding new ideas, and I had a really big struggle with like nearly everything creative. And in that time I met him, and he's like, yeah, you brought this word to my mind, but it's like you said, he's like a muse for me, and he has, without even knowing it, brought me out from this really dark place where I was. And I would say we got friends in the meantime, and obviously in the meantime he also knows what he has done for me, even if he didn't know it in the first place. But I'm really thankful that I found him, and I really love his music, and that was also the reason why I found him. I was on TikTok, I was already laying in my bed and I wanted to get some sleep. I was really exhausted and I couldn't sleep, so I did, I think the most wrongest, is that a word? Can you say that? I don't know. It's probably not so good if you go to TikTok or something like that, or have your phone in your hand if you want to sleep, or if you know that you need sleep, then it's probably not the best thing to take your phone out. But I did that because I didn't know how to solve this problem, and then I found him by coincidence. He had a live stream on TikTok, and I was so fascinated from the very first second that I listened to his music, and then one thing has given the other. I don't know, can you say that in English as well? In German that's a saying. Eine Sache hatte die andere gegeben. Like things would, give their hands like this, and then it was really really nice what happened then. And now I'm here with new ideas, and I'm really thankful that he came into my life. Is that good? this is weird, but I just thought, why don't I cut this flower out? Perhaps I should come back to this point of the beginning of the video where I said I also want to show you how to use those full pages from a printable or a paper pad. Of course, you can also cut out focal points from a printable or a paper pad. And I like to use the rest of the things I have here. Yeah, so I have used a piece of this. You can see it's already torn here. But of course I can still use this leftover as a new starting point for new ideas. And I can use this not only as an inspiration for what I want to do next, but also, of course, the material. I can still use that. It doesn't mean that I have to throw the rest of my paper into the trash can. So why don't we try to, I think this here and this, that it somehow this wants to be together. What do you think? But the fold of the page is here, so that is not so much space here for the flower. But I thought we could make a background with this flower somehow like this. Perhaps we could cut this little edge, or this, it's not an edge, this little tip, or like this. But we should perhaps add some stamping to the background so that we get a little more contrast. This brownish stuff here that looks like it was thrown on here to the page, and then it has like run under this thing like a bridge, and it came out here. How can we use that and make this background more interesting? I think I want to take the no, let's take those Christmas stamps we've chosen. Why don't we try these? If you haven't seen the other video, you might think, what the heck is she doing? These are Christmas stamps. Festive Collage CMS 459 by Stampers Anonymous and Tim Holtz. And I thought, when I was walking I'm so sorry, working on my mood board, I had some really weird associations about what I could use, and I also wanted to try to show you what's going on in my head. Of course, that's the purpose of this whole series. But I have also shown you how to use things that are not necessarily exactly the theme of your journal. This is an embroidery journal, but with nearly no real embroidery. Yeah, I haven't embroidered anything here. And this is also something, that's why I've chosen these Christmas stamps, because I also had some postage stamps, and I saw these postage stamps here, and then I thought, why can't I combine that? And the idea didn't come from the embroidery theme, but from the real postage stamps I had in my mood board, and from those I came to this stamp, even if this is Christmas stuff. So let's see if we can make this work, because who says that we can't have Christmas images in an embroidery journal where nothing else is Christmas themed? Who says that? No one. So let's try that. But how? First, I want to take my stamping platform, because the paper is not flat. Then we need to find the position for the stamp. I want that this is, hallelujah, this writing shall be straight, because otherwise it looks weird. I don't want to have it like so in an angle, but like this. At the same time, I think This looks a little weird. So perhaps perhaps we should, even if I said something totally different a second ago, perhaps we should do it like this, so that the stem here is like in a line with this thing. Let's try that. Just hold this here, open this up, place this here, don't move this, stick it to the platform, hope for the best. Stamp. And yeah, if you couldn't follow what I was saying with the live stream, Sascha obviously makes music. He makes German music. The most of his songs are German. Where is my... But he also has, I mean, his own songs are German. He has, I think, one English song which is his own. But the most of the things he is singing are German songs, and he also has some cover songs in German and in English. And he's having live streams on TikTok regularly, and on every first Sunday of each month he's also live on YouTube. So that's a parallel stream on YouTube and TikTok. And if you want to check that out, you can check out the info box. And the next stream is on, I mean, the next YouTube stream is going to be on the first Sunday of the next month. And I can't give you a date because when I record this, I don't know when this is going to go online on my channel. So I don't know when you will see this. So I can't give you a date, but should be the same date for you and for me when we talk about the first Sunday of the next month. No matter which month it is, you can figure the date out. Why the heck is this not black enough? I'm really freaking out in a second because this is so weird. I don't know why I can't get a really black impression there. That is hard. I don't know if it's because I have this rust water on there. I mean, that is dry, of course, but I don't know if the rust is like a resist or something. Patience is the clue, I guess. Clue? I don't know if that is the right word. I need this. I want this black so that it shows up really well. That is not nice. It doesn't show up enough. Is this ink still wet enough so that I can emboss that? But with what? With white or what? Or gold? Oh my goodness. Okay, if this goes wrong, we can always take a paper and glue that over this. I want to try white embossing powder on here. Let's see if that can work. Because I think gold is not the right color here. I have used some gold on, oh, yes, on some of the other pages, and that looks really nice. But in this case, I think I want even more contrast, even if gold would give me contrast. But let's see. Let's see how this looks when we melt the powder. I will emboss that from the back to make sure that the powder can't fly away. Obviously the ink was still so wet that it could grab the powder. I'm really happy about that. What is on the back? Nothing. But I'm melting this from the back so that I can make sure that the powder can't fly away. Sometimes that happens when you use ink for sticking the powder to your project. Oh my goodness, I haven't expected that I like this so much. Oh. Yes. And can you see? This Christmas stamp is now like a background. You can't really tell that this is this Christmas flower, poinsettia or something like that, I think is the name. But what I don't like is, first I thought I want to stamp here and a little bit here so that it looks like the stamping would come from here and go through this little, under this little bridge, and it comes out here. I got that association from this, you know, this area here. But I think when I, if I stamp and emboss with white here, that looks then really weird. I think we should better consider stamping here behind the flower and emboss that with white and then glue the flower. Yeah, I think that is better in this case, because white here, don't like that. I mean, what I have in my mind, how it could look. That is what I don't like. So let's try to position this here. Where are my magnets now? Let's then lift this up, and then we probably won't need so many layers of the stamping because we know that we want to emboss that. And I'm really a little bit confused right now, because I still am thinking about this phenomenon that just happened while this phone call was, because I never did that. I mean, that was a really spontaneous idea. He called me and I was like, oh my goodness, I have no time, I have to make a video, what do you want from me? What is it? And then, you know, he talked to me and he told me what he wanted to ask me. I mean, that is private, yeah. I don't want to talk about this here. But then I thought, why don't I just take him with me? Because, you know, I know a lot about his work because I'm following him and I listen to his music when he's live, but he doesn't know so much about my work, and he is always interested in that, and he asks me a lot about that, how I make my journals, and he also visited my shop and looked to my Instagram to know what I am doing, to also understand, yeah, what he did for me with just being there without knowing it. And he wanted to know how it could happen that I could first get into this struggle situation. And for that, I think it's important to know what the other person is doing. And then he wanted to know how he brought me out. And for that, he wanted to know what I'm doing. And so he looked, yeah, to my social media, and he also watched some of my videos. And that was really cute when he told me that he watched my video, or one of my videos. I was like, oh my goodness, that is just cute, because that showed interest in, that he is interested in me and in my situation, and that makes it somehow even more special. What did I want to say? And so I thought I can show him what I'm doing just by taking him with me. You know, what I did a second ago for this video. Even if he couldn't see my space here, yeah, you have seen him here on my phone, but he could just see the camera from here, he couldn't see what I was doing, but it felt like he was in a situation like I am when I am watching his live streams. You know what I mean? Because he's working then by making music for his viewers and his fans and friends. And I'm working here and I'm doing like basically the same, except that it is not live. And with that, I also experienced that I did something creative without even thinking about it. Because when I was talking to him and my concentration was totally on, yeah, like making this video for you and explaining why he is here to you, translating everything, I couldn't put my focus onto what I was doing here, and I did so many things intuitively that it could perhaps be an idea to do something like that on purpose in the future. I haven't thought about that because, I mean, this series is about making a journal from scratch, yes, but it's also about how to stay in your flow and how to find new ideas, what to do if you get stuck. This whole mood board method, I have shown you that, and I have figured that out for myself for exactly that problem. I mean, mood board, that is nothing new, but I have never seen it in combination with junk journaling, to be honest. Perhaps it's just my bad research about that, but I have never seen it before, that someone has done it like I did it. That shall not sound arrogant, but it's just, you know, something that I think I was the first person who did it, but that really doesn't matter. But if you do that, and if you, you know, try to show the people, in this case you, what you can do to not get stuck and to not get overwhelmed, then of course you automatically think about things that could help you. Yeah, I mean, it doesn't help if I tell you, I don't know why I'm doing this here, I just do it. It really doesn't help if I say just start, even if I know that I have said that in the past very often, without even realizing that already that just start can be a problem. And with this series, I'm of course trying to find some, yeah, better solutions, some better suggestions for you. I mean, why am I doing this here? Yes, I make a living from this. Yeah, I mean, my Etsy shop and my YouTube channel, that's my job. But of course, I want you to have something that helps you. Otherwise, I could sell socks or toys or whatever. So I want this to be helpful, and of course I want to be a part of this community. Junk journaling can't work without this amazing community and without the people willing to help each other. That is a really massive point in my eyes. And with that being said, of course, I try to not only give you like inspirational videos in a tutorial-ish way, but I also want to go a little further with that and try to give you other kinds of like tips and tricks, and I want to try to let you look into my brain a little bit more, because I mean, that is your feedback, yeah, what you give me when you tell me that you, oh no, let your splatters dry before you touch your paper. When you tell me that you like my work and that you want to know where I get my ideas from, then for me it's a normal thing that I try to answer those questions as well, and that those are Also, you know, those questions are like the same. Like if you would ask me, how is this or that technique done? Do you know what I mean? So I have the same, I feel the same need of answering those questions than like technical questions, or how, where did you get this or that paper or something like that. I find those questions which go a little deeper even more interesting, because to figure out a technique or to find a shop where to buy this or that paper that you've seen somewhere is easier to do by yourself. Of course, I want to answer those questions as well, and I give my best to give you information where I get my things and how techniques work, but it's harder to answer a question like, where do you get ideas, or what do you do when you get stuck? That is way harder, of course, to answer than those other questions, but I find those questions sometimes even more interesting, because yeah, if I can help you with something, then of course I'm happy to do that. And I'm really hoping that this is not too confusing here. So we have this here now, and I have to let this dry completely before I can go on, because the splatters are not dry yet. I don't want to dry these with my heat gun to not remelt the embossing powder here, so I will let this air dry, and then I will probably go to my sewing machine again to sew here and here, perhaps just a little bit. Yeah, I don't know yet. You will see this page again in the next videos, of course, but then we have a pocket here, so I will later on sew this on or glue this on. Or perhaps we could even, we could even leave this as a flap. We could even leave this, oh my goodness, look. We could even leave this here like so that it flips out completely. We could also glue more paper here, or leave this blank for just for journaling. Then we have this, and this little pocket here made from the same folds which were in the paper bag in the very beginning, because, you know, you have seen this was a paper bag. That is even more interesting, I think. But I let this air dry, and then we will see that again later in one of the next videos. So I'm really hoping that you could get some inspiration from this. I really like how this turned out. This was also, I am glad that I have taken this page while I was talking to Sascha, because this and this, I mean, I have taken this and this tag here because they both have green. But when I put that into my mood board, I was not so sure if that really works and if it is really something I want to do. With my concentration on the phone call, I just did it. And that is something, a second ago I said, it's not so easy to do something when someone says, yeah, just do it. But how? But this was something I just did it without thinking, and that is really fascinating for me. Really fascinating, because normally I would say, yeah, what shall that mean? Just do it. But how can I just do it? And this was something, yeah, I just did it without thinking. And perhaps it is something, perhaps you want to try to be on a phone call while you are crafting. Please just try that out. What can happen? I can only say that I will definitely try that out again. Calling someone and just trying to really, like the sentence says, just do it. I'm totally happy with this. And it doesn't help if I take this and try to figure out if it can work here, because this, no, that can't work. But also this stamping over this magazine page, really cool. Okay, so I have some pieces left over here. I have this card left over. I have this. I will probably do something similar like here, turn that into a pocket or so on other pages. So then you will see, these pieces later again, and you will also see some other pieces I have used, because I can't do everything on camera. I have to do some things off camera so that I can, you know, show them to you then, and that the journal is then finished. Otherwise that would be too much. In the next video, what are we going to do in the next video? I think we are going to make some interesting edges for some of the pages, because I want to also use some more embroidery thread. This thing with just SASCHA, you know, I couldn't find the time to do something with my embroidery thread, but I definitely want to do that. And I'm thinking about some like fabric, lace, ruffles or page edges where embroidery thread is included, so that we can, yeah, catch this embroidery theme somehow. Not only with like some images that are, I know that this is not embroidered, but you know what I mean, that are giving this idea of something embroidered, even if it isn't. I can't say that in English, I'm so sorry. But I think I want to continue with that and sewing some edges on here. I have to think about that, but that is what you are going to see in the next video. So I'm really hoping that you could find some inspiration from this. I'm really surprised how this came out. This is also really, really extreme, because this pocket is now a little wonky, and I would probably have freaked out without being in the phone call. And now I just love this. I just love it. So hopefully you could find some ideas. Let me know what you think. Perhaps you have some suggestions what we could do in this journal, or yeah, basically in a future journal, because I have to be honest, when you see this video, my journal is already finished. Yeah, because I have to film this in advance. But if you have some suggestions for future journals, of course, I'd love to hear that. And I wish you a very, very great and creative day. And hopefully we will see you the next time. Bye bye.